Askari Cast. My name is Rod Van Blake, author of the Ancient Illumination series and the Umbani Chronicles, and I am joined once again by Andrea Rose Washington.
Hello.
She is the author of Adelithia, Amontrese Magic, and Elendil. And today we are getting into Jung-E, a Korean sci-fi cyberpunk movie on Netflix. So spoilers if you have not watched this film. Shamefully, I have not been checking out a lot of the Korean sci-fi films that are out there, and this was a surprise. Well, I've seen a few of the drama shows, and that's why I was like, yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna like the science fiction, even though I'm a science fiction writer and fantasy author. But so I saw this, and we were kind of looking for things to watch and discuss. And so I was like, oh, you know what? This looks really interesting. I saw the trailer. I saw the optics of it, what it looked like, and understood that it was going to be in Korean, so I'd have to read the subtitles, which I'm used to, and from watching other things. I was like, okay, this looks pretty interesting. I was thinking AI, cyberpunk, post-apocalyptic film. It visually to me, it checked all the boxes, as you would say.
Yes. That's
Yeah.
my line. Yes.
Yes. Starring Lee Dong-hee. Apologies if I mispronounced these names. Lee Dong-hee as the chairman. Uh, Kim Hyun-ju is Jung-e. Ryu Kyun-soo is director Sang Hyun. He's one of my favorites in this, the director Sang. Kang Soo-hyun, and she's Soe Hyun, which I believe Kang Soo-hyun passed away not too long ago, I read.
Yeah, me too. I was sad to hear that.
Yeah. So Yi Park, which is she plays the younger version of Yoon Seo Hyun as a little girl that we see in like flashbacks. Arya Song plays the voice of Jung Hee. Um, this was a cool film. Very for me, it was very surprising, and it ended up being a lot deeper than I thought it was going to be. I was thinking sci-fi action. It's post-apocalyptic. We've obviously I think it's set like 100 or 200 years in the future, and we've messed up Earth
Because
with
we all know
pollution,
we're going to do that.
dirt, and I guess the polar ice caps are all melted because most of the water have overrun a majority of the planet. You can't live on a lot of the surface, so it looks like they built up city on top of the city
Mm-hmm.
and a little train system above that, so they're living above the city. And because of that, we've built space stations between Earth and the moon, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And there are people on Earth that like three of these space stations declared themselves to be independent and start like a small galactic.
Civil War.
Yeah.
Which,
And
why can't we just not fight people? Why is there always war?
I don't know. Interestingly enough about this is they have this like really decorated mercenary who joins the fight. Um, Captain Jung is another way of saying Jung-e, because Jung-e is actually like this AI they built from this person that was this badass captain. She was whooping all types of ass during the Civil War, but there was one mission that she failed, I guess, that would have ended the Civil War, and the war's been going on for like 40 years. Um, and so they're trying to, she ends up getting injured, going into a coma, and so they have her in a coma, but they were able to like transfer the data from her brain into this AI and replicate it over and over again. And they're running this like perpetual simulation, trying to build basically a cyborg that can win this
Fight.
war once and
Yeah.
for all. Yeah. Interesting.
So I am all over the K-pop. Not
Okay.
K-pop. Well, yes, K-pop. But the K-drama that's coming out. And I'm loving, like, I've been into watching K-dramas and like Korean movies since like college, since like I was 21.
Okay.
So I started with Boys Over Flowers. If you know, you know, people. I have always loved the Korean movies because they take it to a level of darkness. Like when they go dark or when they go like edgy and like in their action movies, you see it. They put all that effort into it. um it like think Train to Busan. Like, there's so much in like Korean movies.
Yeah.
And with this one, I saw I saw it on Netflix. I was like, all right, I'm gonna watch that. When I knew I had like a chunk of time to sit and focus on it, because I'm a little, I won't say lazy when it comes to subtitles, but like I like to be able to do more than one thing at a time. And if I'm just reading the subtitles, I can't do other stuff. I can't like play a game. I can't do anything while I'm also watching the TV show.
Okay.
I'm actually happy this one was dubbed, so I was able to do both. um, I was very surprised by the turn this movie took. I I will be honest, I wanted straight up a war movie. I love how it started. I was like, oh yes, bet. We're about to get into some action. We're gonna be fighting robots. I'm loving this. Let's do this. And then the movie went left and then just kept going left.
Yeah.
And I was very surprised. Because I will say, Korean shows and movies, when they go left, they go left. And that's like and it's almost like a deeper meaning than just enjoying what they put in front of you.
Yeah.
And this one was definitely about a deeper meaning than just killing and senseless war, which is what I was looking forward to.
Yeah. This one did take a turn to the left and had a lot of other themes that draw onto the emotional that I wasn't prepared for, as well as a lot of common themes that we're fretting over right now with the rise of AI and the artscape with artists and now actual writers as well, contemplating being replaced by AI. So that's a big theme. They're using it obviously in other means here in this film, but it's still kind of along those lines where they're making this AI to try and solve problems that they couldn't solve themselves. It goes into familial issues with like life insurance down the line, kind of because they end up having these three tiers of AI. If you're ever in danger of dying, you can save yourself basically and get a prosthetic body. But there are three different tiers, and each tier gives more control to the government or these corporations if you can't pay. And the free one, they just have free reign to do whatever they want with your data.
And it's that whole part was like, okay, and now I'm seeing when that part came on, that's when I definitely was like, all right, this is a bigger theme of who has control when you die. Like,
Yeah,
what are your wishes? Did you plan out your life?
yeah,
Did you make your arrangements? Or how corporations will prey on people who don't have the funds to
yeah,
protect themselves, who did not pre-plan for their ending, who did not pre-plan, who did not prepare their family for their wishes. Because I'm never choosing C. I'm never.
yeah,
You're no, because as we can see in this movie, things happen with the mother where
yeah,
I was just like, oh, you did give them her mom, the mother's mother gave control to the government, but when is it enough? Like when does the line, when do you draw the line in like what you're gonna make for based off of someone's likeness?
yeah. Not even their likeness, but their brain patterns, their memories, their knowledge, basically, because they were able to basically transcribe this combat knowledge from the person that was still alive but in a coma into these AI run cyborgs that could complete missions, could fight. They basically had a ready-made army of these Captain Jung-E's ready to go anytime, and it even, of course, upgraded the model. Um, but yeah, and we find out about the A, B, and C when Kang Soo Hyun. We find out the whole reason why the mother was a mercenary in the first place was because her young daughter had cancer and she couldn't afford to pay for the surgeries. So she had to go on these crazy fighting missions to pay for the surgery. And that was the whole reason that was that her grandmother that signs over into
Yeah,
space.
it was the little girl's grandmother, the mom's mother.
Yeah. So yeah, we see the little girl has grown up now, and she's actually she's like one of the lead. She's the team leader of the research facility, Chronoid or whatever the company's called that runs the AI. Go ahead.
Why would I'm just gonna be honest. I didn't under I knew from the paragraph about the show, it was like it was the daughter was the one in charge of the mother's program. But
Yeah,
like as I saw what the head guy was doing, calling it a they, a it, seeing this woman watch her mother or the like her mother's memories,
yeah,
like continuously go through this, shoot her in the leg, cut off her arm, like do this, do that. And it's just like as a child, like I mean, and when I say child, like as someone's child, I don't want to watch the likeness of my mother
yeah,
and her brain, not just a likeness, like you said, her memories, her brain patterns, continuously be tortured every day. Because regardless of the fact that it's a robot, the robot doesn't know it's a robot.
yeah. No, that was kind of freaky when they would revive it at the end of the mission after the AI had failed, uh, and it would like wake up and be like, "Who are you people? Where am I?" It'd be screaming. It would be, "I can't feel my body." It'd be freaking out.
Yeah.
But I could see from a certain point of view that the daughter might see this as the only way to kind of connect with the mother that was basically gone for her. So just like when one of the other researchers, when she's curious, she's like, I don't even know if it was worth it. My mom dying or being nearly fatally injured for this surgery, and I wonder if she feels bad about making this sacrifice. And dude's like, have you ever thought just to ask her? Because it's got all the memories and everything. Ask. Just and I was like, and she never did really ask, but I was waiting for that moment, especially when they had the times where she was trying to sneak back in by herself. I thought she was going to revive the AI and finally ask this really pertinent question that's burning a hole in her to see if her mother regrets the sacrifice that she made once she's made fully aware of what actually happened. Because that's also a weird thing too. Is this not only is her physical, her actual mom is in a coma, but the AI is in constant limbo because it's not allowed to progress beyond that failure point.
Yeah.
It's like a
And
horrible Groundhog's Day.
for both the mother and the daughter. And as someone who would own that company, I wouldn't want the daughter there because it's a conflict of interest. Because at the end of the day, like how the chairman was doing, the whole point was to learn and like force the robot to be able to do combat, to force it to be able to be exactly how it was, to not fail. And you see the chairman trying different things. All right, shoot it in the leg, cut off the arm, do
The
this,
director.
do that. And the director. And they all were hesitant because you could tell it was because the daughter was in the room with them.
Yeah.
And she shouldn't be there because it could you be impartial?
No, no, I don't think I could be. If that was my mom or yeah, no.
So it does not make sense. The only way it would make sense is if she lied about her resume, but they all knew she was the girl's daughter. So yeah. it in my mind, it's like it does not make sense for her to be in this way unless like everything was copacetic and it was like, all right, the robot's perfect and the daughter's just running the program, like take care of the mom. But like to force to go through this horrible day over and over and over again, the day she left you while you were about to go have lung surgery because you had cancer, it just seems awful.
Yeah.
How would that not break down someone's child who really loved their parent?
Yeah, I don't know. That was there was a twist that they put into why the mother failed. We'll talk about that later, but there was a twist that we see in this film. We learn why the mom gets distracted and actually fails her mission, why the war had been going on for 40 years when it could have been ended at this mission. How did you feel about director Sang? He was kind of over the top to me, and I kind of liked it. He was out of place. He was too jokey. he was all over the place emotionally, it seemed like.
So he was, in the beginning, I liked him. In the beginning, I did. I was like, okay, bet this guy's funny. He's bringing some humor to it. I like to the job. Like he really enjoys his job. And then as I realized what they were doing and what kept happening, I was like, oh, you're crazy. Like you're no longer funny. You're crazy. I liked the character in the first half of the movie.
Yeah.
And then when they got to shooting her in the leg and cutting off the arm, I was like, all right, you're going off the deep end.
But then you find out later why he's.
Oh, we're doing the twist now? Oh, okay. I didn't know if we were going to do the twist now. Okay.
We can do this now. I don't want to do the twist with the daughter now.
Okay.
But with director Sang, we find out later when the chairman actually shows up, because they've been kind of pantomiming, like they've been faking us out with this director for a couple times when he's supposed to go talk to the director along with the team leader. They go to see the chairman, I guess, at the company. They take a train with all the researchers, and some other lady comes up that's, the director has no idea who this person is, obviously, and she's all super giggly and almost like an antithesis to director Sang. She just starts giggling for no reason as soon as she comes on screen. She's being all weird and so, oh, whatever it is, whatever progress you think you made, you can go ahead and show that to me. The director can't be here. I mean, not the director, the chairman can't be here. And so that kind of worries him. They don't actually show them showing this new person the progress that they've made. They've cut right to them going back on the train and him being super disappointed. And then a few scenes later, the chairman does show. I think it's right after he goes super crazy. The director seemingly goes crazy, and that's the point where he puts the gun to her head, to the team leader, the Jung-Yi's daughter, and then someone else comes in and says, the chairman is in your office. And immediately he goes, oh, like he goes off to meet the chairman. She follows, and then we find out the damn director is an AI and doesn't seem to know that he's an AI.
So this reminded me of Westworld.
Okay.
When we find out that, I can't remember the character's name, the black guy with the glasses.
Jeffrey Wright.
Yeah. That he was also like a robot. Spoilers for people who haven't watched that show.
Yeah.
But it reminded me of that, where it's just like, okay, this makes it a little bit more worse. That you don't know what you are, but it also makes me wonder, does anyone else but the team lead know?
I don't think so, because they're all freaking out.
Yeah.
Right along with her. And she didn't know, apparently.
And it's like scary when it comes to AI, because like even the other AI movie with like Oscar Isaac, where like you're trying to make a computer so smart you can free think. Why? I feel like every why do you want to give a... Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Why do you want to give a machine that autonomy? Why would you want a machine not to know it's a machine?
Yeah. Because she was flabbergasted, and then the chairman basically tells her, look, this war is over. There's no need to build munitions and war machines anymore. We're going to look into other uses for the AI, which is another twist they bring in awkwardly here. We'll talk about that in the second half. But yeah, I was like, whoa, so the war is over. What do we do now? And she's like, well, I think truly for her, this is like her only, in her mind, her only real connection to her mother.
Yeah.
Trying to finish is like, she's trying to carry the legacy on by completing this mission with her mother and figuring out a way to do that and basically reclaim her glory for her mother, because she was a hero back in the day. And now, as we know now, as time goes on, opinions shift, and some people are starting to blame her actually for the reason why this war that's continued to go as long as it has is because she didn't finish this mission. I feel like the daughter's like, well, if I can turn this around, we can finish this mission and my mom will still get the credit for it, and then the glory will be restored to her name. And that's what she's trying to do through her means. She's not a warrior, but she can do it through science and research and things of that nature. So that's the only way she wants to use this AI. And they now have some new plans, which,
horrible plans.
yes, we will talk about after we come back from this short break. We'll talk to you in a second. Welcome back to the second half of the Askari Cast. My name is Rod Van Blake, and I'm joined once again by Andrea Rose Washington.
Hello.
And we are continuing our discussion of Jung-E, the South Korean sci-fi cyberpunk flick. And yeah, so let's continue this talk. They decide that they're no longer going to fight the war, and they are seeking out other uses for this AI. And I found it weird that she found, I think it was the time she goes back into after finding out about the director, she goes back where the latest AI version that had failed in the mission is there. And she gets like a notification on her data pad, her iPad, or whatever this little pad that she's using, and it comes up with the name. It's one of the other researchers has, I guess, a unit that they hadn't tested yet. So she decides, I wonder what this fool's doing with this AI. So she walks through like little the barracks or dormitories, whatever they have, and she knocks on his door. And he pops up like, "Hey, what you doing? How's it going?" She busts through into his apartment and sees the AI cyborg of her mama, scantily dressed. Like, I guess
not even scantily dressed. The girl was in lingerie.
Yeah.
Like, scantily dressed could be like a short little dress where, like, all right, where's the rest of it?
Yeah. So
guns were out, people.
Yeah. So they mentioned like housekeeping, but it seems like they're full on pimping these AI out now. That's what they're about to do. They're gonna go for, they're basically getting this real life OnlyFans going with these AI bots. They've gone beyond just housekeeping droids. They're full on sex bot is what it looks like. He tries to explain himself, and obviously that doesn't go well.
Because like the fact of the matter was that he wasn't lying. He was ordered to basically test out a sex bot and of her mother with like her, like, it's not even like you couldn't have put any other face on there. You kept the woman's face who was supposed to be like a war hero.
Yeah.
And it comes back to the fact that they chose C, the option that said the government could do whatever they wanted with the body.
Yeah.
And but like, seriously, you're going to reduce a mercenary, a hero, someone who won you so many battles to a sex doll?
Yeah.
Like, seriously?
They got carte blanche to do whatever they want with it. And yeah.
Because in the room when she's like holding the guy up, after she's like finished holding the guy up on the wall, she looks like over his shoulder and he has like posters of her mother in her full like tactical gear. And even the little doll of her,
yeah, the same action figure,
the action figure, all of that, and then but he's about to get it on with a sex bot version of her.
Yeah, yep. He's about to take one for the team, and he's getting paid to do it. Apparently, she is all upset. We didn't discuss the fact that the cancer has returned.
It has, and she only has like a couple months to live, right?
Yeah, we got a few months to live. Did you know the doctor was an AI?
No.
That one when he stops and his eyes go gray and they.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, what the hell? Like, you can't even get a real doctor.
and also it goes to like, does he know that he's an AI? And it's this movie was a mind freak. I'm probably gonna have to go back and rewatch it again, and just to catch things that I missed the first time. Yeah. Because if I look away for a second and then I look back, I might have missed something completely. So who knows? So I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch that.
Yeah. Yeah, so she finally, after that, she goes back and revives the AI to kind of talk to her. Finally, I think this is one of the parts I thought okay, finally she's gonna answer the question, but she revives the AI that's in that little holding chamber, but I think she tweaks the settings so that she can't see, so she doesn't freak out as much. She just wakes her up and then talks to her, and then we find out why she failed, why she ended up getting shot. And we see another flashback where the daughter gave her this little keychain doll as a good luck charm to keep her safe, and she lost it. And that, I guess, broke her concentration on what she was doing, because amidst all the bad aspects going on, we see her fighting these robots. She is whooping ass. She's straight Mortal Kombat fighting these.
Winning.
She's got this little grappling hook thing with the rifle.
Mm-hmm.
She's doing the get over here, shooting them all. He was whooping ass on a major level by herself. Because everybody else, every time they revive her, everybody else in her unit is gone. She's like the only one. No one's fighting with her. She's whooping these robots' ass the whole time. She gets to this perch area where she's finally able to zoom in on the weakness of this big, like, tank droid, roller panther thing. I don't know what this thing is, but it's like a big tank that's ends the fight. And I guess there's a battery in the booty of the tank that she has to aim her rifle at. And there's a little keychain thing similar to hers, but looks like it's a different one though. And when she sees it in the periphery, it distracts her from taking that final kill shot. And each time she gets shot, and I think the director says why every time at this same moment she gets shot. Well, the AI explains to the daughter that she lost the key, and that like freaked the daughter out, because then it feels like the daughter killed her mom.
Yeah. Like if she hadn't given her the good luck charm, her mom could have still been alive.
Yeah, I was like, whoa.
Yeah. This movie made me like it awoke in my cold dead heart, and it made me feel things. And I didn't go into this movie to feel things. I didn't go into this movie to care. I went into this movie to watch people die. Yeah. To watch fighting and to watch amazing action. And then there was so much amazing action. Well, not so much, but every time we got action, it was amazing.
Yeah.
But like the scenes between the daughter and the mother, and it like pulls on your heartstrings, because the mother doesn't know that's her daughter and doesn't know everything she did worked out. Well, not worked out, but like your daughter survived. She lived. She grew up. She's looking at you in the face. Like she's staring at you.
Yeah.
And she doesn't even know that. And it's just like, you're protecting people, and you're or an AI, because she's not a person anymore. You're protecting, like, at this point, what are you protecting? By keeping it a secret, by letting her know, hey, by the way, it all worked out. I survived. But even then, it's like, we know that her mom is still in a coma. She's viewed her mom's body, and that one's aging. So it's like, does she view this as her mom, or because she knows her mom is still alive? Because why wouldn't you at some point, why wouldn't you try and take a different route? Because the definition of insanity is trying the same thing over and over and over again and think you're going to get a different result.
Yeah.
So like, why wouldn't you tell the mother, hey, your daughter survived and is alive as an adult? She ain't happy, but she's alive.
Yeah. No, I think she told the AI that, but only after the fact, after they had escaped the facility.
Yeah.
Because once she figured out what's going on and what they're about to turn her mama's AI into, I was trying to keep track of everything, but it looks like she deleted the original AI, which I don't know if that really matters, because they still have the mama that's still there in a coma. So they could probably still replicate that data that's still there residing unless it's gone from the actual corporeal body.
But and also they also have her likeness, because let's be honest, do you if you're buying a sex bot, you're not buying it for the brain. So
yeah.
And then even if they do a maid version or a housekeeper or a cook or a chef and like all the other home ec things with a robot, do they need the mother's brain or did they just going to use her body? Because you don't need to have a combat brain to do some of the things they wanted her to do.
Not at all. And she looked disturbed too. Was that just me, or did the sex bot version of Jung E look like she was about to cry the whole time?
Oh yeah, she did not look happy.
I was like, yeah, that was.
Why give them a conscience? Why give them knowledge of? It's a level of what the effery that I have not experienced before. Like, why would you let the robot feel pain?
Yeah.
Because that's like one thing I feel like they did. Because they gave her like this like silver fluidish that's supposed to replicate her blood.
Yeah.
Like when she was getting shot, she felt like she could imagine the pain. When they were cutting off her arm, she was screaming because if it was like she felt what they were doing to her. Why would you want that?
Not to mention, she was in like basically a VR setup the entire time with the arm that just had her held. She wasn't actually in the facility, but she didn't know that.
Yeah,
like you said, she was, as far as her awareness was concerned, she was in that facility fighting each and every time, reliving that moment when she woke up. And he was trying to, I guess the director was trying to find variables that was going to change the end. So he got something after he shot her in the leg. She still failed, but there was something, I guess the yellow data changed something that then, and I don't know whether the daughter tapped into that again when she found out the concern for the daughter kind of tapped into that yellow part of the data awareness even more. So it was interesting. Yeah, she tried to, but nothing was going to get rid of it, like you said, short of probably like burning the facility down to the ground and getting rid of all of it. So,
and like sadly killing her mother, the actual body.
Yeah. But the action was good. We do get some more action outside of the facility once she basically frees the AI that was currently in the facility, and then she starts fighting this new version. This was giving me Terminator / RoboCop vibes when the director finds out that she's trying to steal her mama, basically.
And again, this goes to like, why would you hire their daughter? And why would you ever allow her to be alone? I feel like I would never allow her to be alone with the AI for the fact, especially after you're telling her you're shutting down the program. You know she knows what you're trying to do to the body. Why would you ever allow her to be alone with any of it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because like when she talks to her mom and it's like saying, "Hey, you're gonna hear me. It's gonna sound like a dream. You're in a facility. After this, it's all gonna go bad. They're gonna destroy everything. Whatever." Basically, letting the mother fake her way through the next fight that she's about to be in, which I think that was sort of a smart move, like to fake like you got shot and lay down, and then the director's like, "Wait." And then that's also a cue to the fact that he is an AI as well, because no one else caught that until he was walking away. As like whatever processor he had was like, "Oh wait, no, something wasn't right. Let me go back and check that out." Because no one else caught that she wasn't actually shot, but he did.
And the way that he was actually like sleeping in the little experiment room, like when the lights were all out and she cuts the lights on and he sits up like, it's over. I'm like, this fool is in there by himself. Just chilling in there.
Creepy.
Yeah, he was creepy. Yeah, he turns around. We got the cyber cops that get called when the facility goes on lockdown. We have some more. That's where we get some more action, some good action fight scenes where this, because before the cops get there, the like fully robot police show up on this weird tram that's got them hanging. Reminded me of the bots in Star Wars because they were hanging up in this little hangar.
Oh yeah.
And because they could even fight from there. But before they even get there, the director wakes up the version 2s with they still got the metal face and the weird glowing eyes on this next generation of these military bots based on the mom's AI. So we get like a 3-on-1 fight of them. I don't understand why they didn't wake all of them up, because we go into some rooms where there's obviously more of them, just in like an assembly line.
I would have loved to get like an iRobot type fight scene.
Yeah, it reminded me a lot of iRobot, and I was getting some for my gamers out there, these Detroit Become Human vibes with the AI and that game. Yeah, she was whooping ass against the new cyberbots that show up before the police get there. They were getting down
because the original is always the best.
Yeah, and they go through fight, and they go on this. They escape. They figure out too late because the cyber cop figures out that the AI's consciousness has been transferred. The little cyber brain has been taken out of the old uh, cyborg and put into this one of these newer models, and that's how they were able to walk out of the facility. Right, the cops just let them walk out as the daughter's hurt and she's being carried out by one of the newer AI, and then he goes and goes to the CCTV feed to see what the cameras got, and you find out that she actually transferred the brain of the shot AI into the new version of the AI, and so then they hop on the train. They're in hot pursuit of them, and we get our final battle, I guess. So the director is following them as well. They get into a knockdown, drag out fight, and then finally, I think when he gets like either shot or something hits him in the eye, it's finally revealed to the director like what he didn't. Yeah, he didn't know.
But I will say, because like you could tell before he knew, he was like almost fighting like a human because he had a gun and like he was shooting the daughter, and which is okay because we all know that she's gonna die. I mean, it's not okay to shoot people, but like we all knew the director, I mean not the director, the team lead was gonna die, the daughter was gonna die eventually anyway.
Yeah.
But then like he starts going ham, full on, oh, I'm a cyborg. All right, fine, I'll fight you hand to hand. Let's go.
Yeah, he learned quick.
Turn around. Because we saw him have a crisis because you have the one human eye and then you have the cyborg eye. You have like you can see under the skin is actually a metal frame.
Yeah.
And he is like having a crisis, and then he's like, all right, bet, let's do this. And it reminded me of the first opening scene, but like he handled it better. But like the opening scene, the opening fight scene, where before we know what's really going on, and the mother's just like wrecking all of the other robots, and then she loses two of her hands, and then we see that it's robotic hands, and she's like, what is going on? But she doesn't handle it well, and the director's like, all right, bet, let's go.
Yeah. He just laughs maniacally, and that's when I was like, okay, he was programmed to just be crazy. That was in his makeup. He was supposed to be crazy from day one. So somehow the chairman put it in the algorithm for him to be crazy, and that's why he was kind of maniacal the whole time, because he was kind of off kilter even when they're having the meetings with the other military members to show the presentation. He was being super weird.
That's my voice. I did that.
He was whispering to him all the time. The director's like, yeah, we got it. We can you fast forward? We already know all this. Can you do something new? And he was being weird the whole time, and he was programmed to be nervous, I guess, at certain points, because he had
I feel like the chairman put like a little bit of himself in there, because like the time we see the chairman, he's like hiding behind the desk and having fun with the whole like reveal. So I feel like he is a version of the chairman who doesn't have the humanity side about him.
Yeah, I think that's him. I think director saying is him as a younger man, because remember he mentions that he had the chance to basically put himself into the body, but he couldn't go through with it. He didn't want the prosthetic body, so that was just his toy, his project, his pet project, I guess.
So yeah, like he is the craziness, the person who would shock someone and let them know that their boss is an AI and then laugh about it from behind the desk, like hidden. He's that person, except he never grew past that point because he can't grow up.
Yeah. So what would you rate it?
That's hard because I was thinking about it, because like I can't really blame it for being what it is, just because I went in with the wrong intention about it. I feel like if I go back in and watch it knowing what it is, I probably give this like an 8 or 9.
Okay.
But because I was expecting something more straight up fight, action, war, action, war, action, war.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that. I'll give it a 7.
Okay.
Because I was a little let down by what it, not that it was a bad movie, but it just wasn't what I thought it was. And it made me feel, and we all know I'm dead inside, people. I didn't want to feel anything.
Well, I'm kind of right there with your initial reaction. I give this about an 8. I was surprised, but it didn't throw me that makes me lower the score. I leave it at an 8 because I was indeed surprised, and I wasn't expecting to be surprised. So for that, I give it kudos. The action I like that we got, and the emotion that we get is not contrived. They're not doing it just to be doing it for a specific reaction. So I feel it's kind of more genuine. So therefore, I give it high marks for that. And I guess for that reason, I'm going to actually check out another Korean film, Space Sweepers. I'm going to be checking that sci-fi one out next, just because it's been on my list to watch, and I've for whatever reason kept skipping over it, not pressing play. I guess now I'll actually try that out. I have watched the Raid films though too, and I like those, but these are more along the lines closer to what I like as far as sci-fi.
The Raid, yeah. So I thought this was going to be something similar, like that type of action.
Okay.
Another one that you should watch that it's not sci-fi, but it is a really good Korean. It's like a buddy cop Korean movie, which sort of it takes a complete left field. And I thought it was going to be one thing. It ended up being very deep. It's called Midnight Runners. You should watch that. It's on that IMDb, whatever their free app is, it's on that.
Okay.
It's called Freevee or something like that.
Freevee. Okay, I'll check it out.
And then Super Me. Is it called Super Me?
Yeah, you mentioned that in the chat. You said Super Me.
Yes. That was that's like a fantasy one. But that one's Japanese though. But it's really good.
All right,
Everyone who's listening as well, come join us in the K-drama realm.
Yeah.
Well, okay, I won't say K-drama, but in the Korean movies, because they are a different breed.
They are.
They're so good.
Man, thank you for taking time out of your day to speak on these things with us. The couple of you that caught us on the live, I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to listen to us talk about geeky things. The audio will be uploaded to Anchor, which will go to Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, all other places where you can find podcasts. And don't forget to check out Trek and Beyond,
a Star Trek podcast. Discover Discovery with us. We're starting season 5 in 2 weeks. Be there or be square.
So we're going on a little hiatus, and we'll catch you all next time. Thanks once again.
Bye.
Peace.